Hello. We're back. Okay, oh my gosh. I was going to start doing a thing, and I'm starting another vlog, a writing vlog. We're going to be writing my sci-fi horror, so yay. I've been writing a lot already. It's been a couple of days since I actually last recorded. I am getting to the end of it. Not the end. I'm not like at the end. I'm getting like closer to the end. There's like 2 more big things, right? And I'm in the middle of the second to last big thing. Well, not the middle, like towards the beginning, middle-ish, whatever. I've made progress. It's been a bit slow going recently, and I've been thinking about it. I think I always get stuck around this point because it's like, it's the ending. I feel like I need to do it right. Which is so silly because like revisions exist for a reason, right? I can fix whatever I need to after the fact. But it is kind of silly. I've been like going through and I'm like nervous. I'm like second guessing everything I'm doing and I'm like, oh no, is this the right thing to do? Would it be better if it were this? But I think it's like, I think I'm okay. I think I'm fine and I'm just like overthinking things. So I do think I'm kind of like feeling a little bit out of it because of like I've been writing so much, so it's kind of burning me out a bit. But it's really fun. I really enjoy the characters. I love seeing how the main character has like slowly devolved. Like it's just so much fun to me. So I figured out how I wanted to deal with it and how I wanted to like have the stuff process, which was really good, really exciting. I don't really want to make too many goals because some things just take longer than others and sometimes it just takes longer than I expect it to be. I don't know. I just want to write more. I just want to write more. I feel like I'm getting so close to the end. Like I just feel it and I'm very excited about it. Whenever I can write death, I'm very pleased. I feel like this next scene is gonna be a lot of fun. But anyways, I think I've run out of things to really chat about right now. I will see you in a couple days. Hello, it's me. I've returned. It's the second day, so I wrote a bit more. I did. It was wonderful. I made some good progress and it is so ridiculous to me how like there are things in real life that I just cannot look at or deal with, like needles or anatomical like depictions of the heart. But like whenever I'm writing horror, I'm like, let's just put it in there. Let's just make this like my worst nightmare. And then I write it and it doesn't freak me out at all. It's really nice. So it's really fun. I have gone to a really fun part of this story, but I also don't necessarily know what I want to happen, which is something I ran into like twice while I was drafting The Underground. And they were both scenes I ended up rewriting like multiple times. The reason why that happened is because they were like these really strong emotional beats for the main characters, and I didn't feel like I was hitting them right in like the first version of the scene. So I like went back, deleted that, and then rewrote it, and I did that like 3 or 4 times like within the first draft. And so knowing that that's how it goes is very helpful because that means that I can go ahead and like think about it more deeply and actually get to a point where I understand what this emotional beat is. So instead of taking my writing notebook, I'm gonna actually take a different notebook and we're going to go through and we're just going to like journal and just think about my characters. And we're going to go through and really think about like what emotional beats I want my character to hit in this story. Like we're getting closer to the end. And this is a very pivotal scene, which is what my stuckness is telling me. It's why I'm like, I don't know what I want this like character to say. And it's leading up to a lot of really important feelings. And I don't know what those feelings are. I don't know what's gonna happen. And it's one of those things where like I really need to interrogate the character and like the world and ramble. Basically, I just need to ramble a bunch and that usually helps a lot to do it in like a notebook. So we're going to go and we're going to write and just do a brain dump of like what's going on in the story, where her current emotional arc is, like how I want it to end, and what would be a really powerful moment for her to go through at this point to have her like reach that point of no return and the like ending and really like dig into that. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Even just writing the beginning of this scene, knowing where it's going like visually now, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to rewrite it, but I'm not gonna worry about that until afterwards because I think the beginning part of what I want and the end part of what I want are the same. The rest is just like fun description, and like maybe I want to keep certain parts of this description or other parts, and like it'll help me know more about out what I want to focus on in these descriptions once I know where the emotional arcs of the characters are going, because I really like to this is a little silly, but I really like to have the environment that character is in represent their emotional state in like how I'm describing it, and like what words I choose and what exactly they notice about the environment. I like it to represent sort of the character's current emotions. And so I don't know the main character's current emotions right now other than like a little fear. And so I really need to do a big thought process, and I need to actually finish the book. I'm excited about that. I think it'll be really fun. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna write in here. So yeah, I guess I will see you in a couple of days. Hello, so I've returned on the same day just to be like, it worked. And also I'm so excited because I think it's gonna work really well. It actually is going to be such a like good moment for the main character, and it's gonna feel so good, and oh my gosh, I'm really excited about it. The thing that I've realized though, which I have to make a note of, is that it's actually going to require for me to make changes, but I need to make notes for the edit, because in order to do this scene properly and have it hit the way it should, I'm going to need to make changes. I'm going to need to have like one of the through thingies, the through lines, to be a lot stronger, and it needs to be a lot more powerful than it is right now, because I don't really go into it. It's kind of like this background thing, and it was supposed to just always be this background thing. And then around halfway through, I had this realization about one of the like themes, I guess, I think it's a theme of this like story. So like from then on I was like, okay, so this is one of the things we're gonna explore. I'm gonna go and change my writing from here on out to account for that. That like change leads directly into this, but I am going to need to do edits throughout to add more of this character, whose name I forgot. Because the main character only references her in like italics, except for one time when she references her name, and I was gonna have her name go forward throughout every time she thinks of her, but like that just did not happen. So I'm gonna have to go back and figure that out. And also I think it's a little bit too close. I think I'm gonna change that name, which good thing it's only in one spot. So I was kind of worried about this scene, okay? Because there's a chance that it would like reduce the tension, right? Because a lot of horror is sort of like this fear of the unknown in a lot of ways. Like in some ways it's not, but like not knowing what to happen is such an essential part of horror. And I think you can do it differently, but that's like stuff I really like about horror. So that's what I want to do here. And I think because of the way I built this, I think if the antagonist is too understandable, I think it's going to reduce the power of them. I don't know. I have so many feelings, but I can't like elaborate them. I can't make them like real thoughts right now for some reason. They're kind of like stuck in my head. I probably need to like sleep on it a bit. It always helps so much, just like writing it down. It lets me like think about the story and like really get into it. So anyways, now for realsies, I'm gonna see you in a couple days. Anyways, bye. Okay, hello. So, oh gosh, it's been a couple days. Well, it's been like a day, maybe. I don't know when I last did this. But hello, I'm back, I've returned. So I did all my thinking, which I did update you on, which was really nice, but I didn't actually get too much time to actually do the writing bit, which was disappointing. So I was like, I'm gonna take some time just to do the writing. But I did a little bit yesterday, let's remind myself. Oh yes. Which is very fun. But I'm like looking at it and I'm like, it might hit a little too close to home right now. But a lot of times when I write these stories, themes end up being very relevant to my life, things I've either experienced or like gone through and stuff like that. And this current theme is a little bit like but yeah, anyways, it's been kind of intense going through it and kind of like even talking about it. It feels like it's sticking it up a little bit too much, but I think that's normal. I think that's fine. We'll see. I'm gonna be like checking in with myself to make sure I'm not pushing myself a bit too far across my comfort line, because like I don't think there's much benefit in that in this specific circumstance. I think if it's causing me too much discomfort, I need to find a way to explore it in a way that will cause me a little less discomfort, and then like build up to like finishing this. There was a previous project I had which I stopped writing at about like 25,000 words, and part of that was like I didn't know what I was gonna do next. Well, I knew what I wanted to happen next, but I didn't know how to get from like A to B. But I also think part of the reason I stopped that, which I didn't realize at the time, it actually took me talking to my mom about it, was I was reliving my illness. And I just didn't realize that was what was happening. That I was like literally just like creating a horror story that was representative of not my illness, but like how I felt during it. Kind of the worst case scenario. The reason why I never actually went back to it was my hard drive died. And so I lost the entire thing and it was just so sad. I was really disappointed. That is why you always back things up. Anyways, that is about where I am right now. So, woo, I guess it's time for me to go. But I will see you in a couple days. Hello, I've returned. I've survived. I had one update. This is kind of like, oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, I haven't typed it up yet. That's what I'm gonna do. But I went through, so we were chatting yesterday. Yeah, we were chatting like yesterday about how I was like struggling with this one scene because it was like hitting things really deeply. So I had to take a break from it and I was gonna come back to it, right? And I came back to it and it was so much nicer. It was so much better. I think it's a really, like, I was nervous about going back to it. I was kind of nervous it was gonna like affect me as much and it was gonna like freak me out a bit. And so I was a little worried, but I did it anyways because sometimes I can't tell if my fear is like, you know, a result of something that's actually gonna cause me harm or just like being scared. So I went and I tried it and I didn't feel like I didn't feel freaked out. It was just nice to sink back into it again, which was just so nice. And I think it's really valuable for me personally when like I get too invested in the scene. Not that being invested in the scene is a bad thing, but when I get too like in it and it starts like negatively affecting me, it's so important for me to like take a break, take a step back, really like process my emotions. It's really important to me to always like be very cognizant of that, to not push myself past my capabilities. I'm just really glad. But anyways, I went back and I did it and I think it's better now. Gosh, yeah, I'm being very rambly today, which means I should probably close this out. Okay, so it's been really fun. I am so relieved with the understanding I've come to with my writing. I'm so glad I took that break, and I think knowing this is really going to help me like process my scenes better in the future. Gosh, I started rambling again. But I'm very happy with what I've learned is what it comes down to. I just like chatting, okay? I'm a chatter. Okay, I can say goodbye. I can do it. But this has been really wonderful. I love like chatting about all of this. Yeah, thank you for, you know, hanging out with me, writing my book. I hope that if you're doing any projects, I hope they're going wonderfully. Hope if you're reading any books that they're wonderful books. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.